Six Flags Great Adventure, located in Jackson, New Jersey, is one of the largest amusement parks in the entire world, and as well as that, has one of the greatest roller coaster lineups in the world too. Although the park itself is quite controversial, most coaster enthusiasts can agree on the fact that this park has a coaster for everyone, with several built for the families and many providing extreme thrills. Not only that, but in 2021, the park will debut their newest roller coaster, Jersey Devil. Obviously, since the ride isn't yet open to the public, I will not be including it on this list, but I won't be surprised if it ends up in the park's top 2 or 3 when it opens next year. With that all out of the way, this is how I rank the 12 roller coasters currently operating at Six Flags Great Adventure. Number 12, Harley Quinn Crazy Train. Based off of the fictional supervillain Harley Quinn, this little family coaster opened in 1999 and as of now is the park's smallest coaster. Because of this, the ride is naturally in last place, but there are some things to talk about here. For one, the theme is extremely loose, and if it weren't for the ride's name and entrance sign, you'd have no idea it's themed around Harley Quinn. The coaster's layout is actually alright for what it is, but I didn't really enjoy it because of the trains in particular. Not only are the trains pretty uncomfortable to sit in, but it doesn't help when your feet and legs were already in pain after waiting in a line for 30 minutes whilst barely moving in an alarming heat with people around you that just wouldn't wear their masks. With that said, it's more of an issue with my overall experience, so I'll give the ride itself a pass. Number 11, Skull Mountain. I'm sorry, but I have absolutely no idea why there's so much hype surrounding this ride. Supposedly you're supposed to be sitting in the back row for the crazy airtime, but I was in the very front, so maybe that's why I was so underwhelmed. Even then, there was no theming indoors and no audio either. It was genuinely really boring and had no character whatsoever. Although I usually try to see the good in every roller coaster, this one just didn't do it for me, and I know that when I'm back at the park, I'll have to give it a redemption ride in the back row. Number 10, Dark Knight. The second and last indoor roller coaster I'll be covering on this list is the Dark Knight. Like Skull Mountain, this coaster also has absolutely no character at all, with zero on-ride audio and a noticeable amount of light shining into the enclosed building. What I will say is that the Dark Knight has a slightly better layout even if cloned, and at least has some decent theming. I wouldn't really call it a bad ride, because to be fair, it is probably one of the better Wild Mouse coasters I've ridden, but it definitely isn't anything to write home about. Number 9, Runaway Mine Train. One of the more aggressive mine trains I've ridden is Runaway Mine Train, which opened at the park in 1974. This makes it by far the oldest operating coaster in the park, and you can definitely feel that historic bite while riding. Just know that if you can't handle a bit of a rough ride, Runaway Mine Train certainly isn't for you. What makes this ride stand out and had me confidently place it above Skull Mountain and Dark Knight is this ridiculous pop of ejector airtime over the water at the end of the ride. As you attempt to take in your surroundings, the ride thrusts you upwards and throws you out of your seat. Believe it or not, it's one of the best moments of airtime in the park, and without it, I don't think I like the ride nearly as much. Quick disclaimer before we move on. As we get into the thrill rides, I'd like to mention that ranking these next 4 coasters was extremely difficult, as all of them rank very closely together, and over time they'll probably swap around in my rankings. In other words, they are all interchangeable, and depending on the day, one could be better than the other in an order that wasn't even discussed on this video. Still, they are all awesome, and here's how I'll be placing them in this video. Number 8, Green Lantern. Green Lantern is a B&M stand-up coaster that opened in 1997 at Kentucky Kingdom with the name Shang, but was relocated and renamed at Six Flags Great Adventure for the 2011 season. Despite what most coaster enthusiasts say, I think I'm actually in the minority that enjoys the B&M stand-up coaster design. Although Green Lantern can't quite stack up to the other B&M stand-up coaster I've ridden, Riddler's Revenge at Six Flags Magic Mountain, I love how intense it is, and I think the layout is pretty solid too. Unlike several other B&M coasters I've ridden, I didn't think this one died out after the mid-course break run either, and as a whole, I thought Green Lantern was pretty underrated for what it was. Number 7, Bizarro. Bizarro opened in 1999 as the first B&M floorless coaster and actually has the exact same layout as Scream, which is located at the aforementioned Six Flags Park in California. As for Bizarro, it most notably does one thing considerably better than Scream, and that is the theming and effects. The layout is already solid by itself, but throw in some flamethrowers, mists, and even a saw blade that cuts through the interlocking corkscrews, it really completes the ride for me. All of these things make for a great visual experience, but it's even cooler on ride when you're blazing through several Bizarro S-shields. Overall, I have no complaints towards this ride, and I think it's a near perfect floorless coaster. Number 6, Joker. Although the Joker is a clone of many other free spin coasters in the Six Flags chain, this one just so happened to be my first and I was very impressed with it. The ride is miles more aggressive than I could have ever imagined, and the rotations, although intense, are executed very smoothly. Maybe it's because it was my first, but I think these free spins get far too much unnecessary hate. I'm honestly really looking forward to getting on more of these in the future, especially considering the fact that most enthusiasts say there are much better ones out there. Number 5. Superman Ultimate Flight. One of the 3 Superman-themed flying coasters in the Six Flags chain resides right here in Jackson, New Jersey, and like the Joker, this was my first of the several clones. Going in, I was expecting a great inversion in the pretzel loop and then the rest to be pretty boring and lame, but in all honesty, this ride gave me serious flashbacks to when I rode Manta at SeaWorld Orlando and last rode Tatsu at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Obviously, yeah, because this is a B&M flying coaster, but mostly because I had forgotten just how fun it is to ride a coaster in the flying position. It's the reason I love the other flying coasters so much, so I should have known better, but I absolutely loved reliving the sensations that this ride gives off, even if the coaster's elements weren't particularly mind-blowing, other than, of course, the pretzel loop, which actually is mind-blowing. In general, this ride is a ton of fun, and I look forward to eventually getting on Six Flags Over Georgia's Superman Ultimate Flight for the terrain that these coasters were built around. Number 4. Nitro. In 2001, Six Flags Great Adventure opened what was their tallest and fastest roller coaster in the park's history, even if that didn't really last long, but we'll get to that later. The ride stands 230 feet in the air with a track length of 5,394 feet, mostly consisting of large airtime hills. This makes for a great L-shaped layout with an exceptional ride duration. For whatever reason, Nitro gets a lot of criticism among coaster enthusiasts, but I don't really understand why. I was able to ride Nitro multiple times throughout 2 visits to the park a week from one another, and I will say that the ride was running considerably better in early August than in late July. I'm not sure why that is, but it probably has something to do with why so many enthusiasts dislike this ride. It's simply a bipolar coaster that has its good days and bad days, and I saw it on both. That said, there's always some fun floater airtime moments and fast speeds to look forward to, so I still think Nitro gets an unfair amount of hate, and it's no wonder why the general public love it so much. Number 3. Batman the Ride. I know what you're thinking. How did this guy just rank a clone to B&M invert over the ginormous original hypercoaster right next door? Don't get me wrong, Nitro is a blast, but there's something about these Batman clones that blow my mind every single time I ride them. Even though they are very short, they are filled with tons of positive G's and a masterful layout. The 2 vertical loops are so intense, the 0 G roll is a ton of fun, the corkscrews are super whippy, and the helixes are absolutely extreme. I can never get enough of these Batman clones, which is why they are placing at my number 3 spot on this list. Number 2. KingDakar. KingDakar is one of the most famous roller coasters in the world, and when it opened in 2005 it broke a lot of records, one of which it still holds today. At 128 miles per hour, it's the fastest roller coaster in North America and second fastest in the world, but what KingDakar is most well known for is for having the title of the world's tallest coaster. Since 2005, no other has topped it. As for the ride itself, I absolutely love it. If you know me well, you know I have some sort of obsession with the 2 full-circuit Stratocoasters currently in existence, with the other being Top Thrill Dragster at Cedar Point. These rides provide an adrenaline rush that is unlike anything I've ever experienced, and as of now, a front row ride on these 2 coasters are enough to place them in my list of my top 10 coasters I've ever ridden. And keep in mind, I've been on just over 200 at this point, so that's quite the statement. Number 1. El Toro. El Toro is known by many as one of the best roller coasters ever built, so does it live up to the hype? Yes, absolutely yes. It currently sits at my number 2 spot on my personal list of roller coasters I've ridden, and for good reason too. It features some of the craziest elements on any wood coaster, and really it's one of the most aggressive roller coasters, period. The ride never lets up from the second it dives down its world-class first drop, and from there you are absolutely out of control. The first 2 airtime hills provide some of the wildest, most sustained ejector airtime ever, and the Rolling Thunder Hill along with the triple snaps are very whippy and powerful. El Toro seriously just has the full package for a wooden roller coaster, and it pains me knowing it's across the country from where I live. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you haven't already, it would mean a lot to me if you subscribe to the channel, as it further motivates me to spend several hours on videos like these, and it brings us closer to our 1,000 subscriber milestone I've been looking forward to for months. Again, thank you for the support, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.